Okay, so we have a segment here. Just wanted to jump into. I was thinking about this. This is kind of an idea we've been playing around with, but these are just some ones off the top of our heads of movies that should have ended sooner.
Mhm.
And I feel like we just talked about The Flash, but that's like a good example. There could have been like one or two different endings in the one they took. Um, I don't know. What do you think?
Um,
Like Inception's the first one that comes to mind.
yeah,
When I saw that movie originally, and then I rewatched it. It's just it should have ended differently or sooner. There's just so many weird layers going on
yeah.
with that film,
For the
right?
Flash, I was okay, and maybe because I was
It's
just kind of
okay.
in it to, um, I didn't care enough. that I'm just like that. I was like, yeah, I don't mind kind of simmering in it because I'm like, probably because if I saw it in the
Right.
theater, then I might have been like, all right, this has gone on to kind of too long. But
Yeah. Yeah. I think in the theater is what I think probably why I originally felt that way. It's not so bad at home, but the theater, you're like, okay, it's kind of it's a long draw what they're doing. But by the way, what's going to happen to Ezra Miller now that he's probably not going to return as the Flash? Is he going to
I
like recover?
don't. So this is hard. WB, like here's like WB had been in trouble. Um,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
obviously they got the big cash cow of Barbie now, so we'll kind of see
Oh, you will be seeing a lot more of Barbie.
see what happens. I don't know. And I guess who knows with all, I mean, obviously we're at a standstill that there's gonna be a lot of ripple effects until the strike is over. Even once the strike is over, there's gonna be a lot of ripple effects to see what kind of happens next. But
Yeah.
um I don't know. Obviously,
You're not going to see any more production this year. I mean,
no.
it's going to
Um
be next summer when you start seeing new movies really come out. It's going to be a long time.
I'm hoping we kind of go back to. I would love to kind of revisit a little bit of the '90s and the small films, small budgets. Lower investments. Like maybe we can get back to those films. I don't know. Will audiences show up? I don't know, but I feel like that's
Yeah,
important.
right.
The
Good
good
call.
bad of Barbie and Oppenheimer is that it kind of keeps reinforcing, even though these aren't superhero movies, is like, and I get it, it's a business. You need tentpole movies to support everything else that you do.
Right, right. But still, yeah, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. They're more of these big blow up,
Yeah.
less artistic. Not that they're not artistic, but
Yeah.
smaller scale films
Yeah.
to
And I'll
support.
say maybe I like Barbie, but it probably went on a little bit too long too. It could have used
Did it?
a little bit of editing, kind of cinch it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
make it more squeaky clean.
Um, Inception too. I know people also kind of like to. I think now that particular director gets kind of carte blanche to do whatever he wants, obviously. But
Yeah.
sometimes you need an editor to kind of like let's bring it in a little bit.
Right, right. Bring it in a little bit. That's a problem a lot with directors. It's also a solution when you have the director hands on with the editing because they obviously know what they want their vision to look like and they want to see it through. But there is a point where you do need an editor to look at it and go, the pacing's fine, but it's a little too long or something
Hmm.
like that. So
What was it? Was the Irishman? Is that what?
yeah, the 3 hours.
Whew.
It's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough too to when you're dealing with biopics. There's so you only have one chance to make it. You want to
Yeah.
include everything. That's like why I'm so excited and curious to
Yeah.
see Napoleon because I mean you could take any year of his life and make that a movie. There's too much material.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people go miniseries and things like that. But
Mhm.
um, that's why sometimes you have these long movies. It's like you need to have discretion about what
Yeah.
you're going to cut, and they want to keep everything in, and it just
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Yeah. Or earn your 3 hours, because I know we're obviously talking on kind of this side of the movies, but I think about Casino and Titanic, which are 3 hours, and they earn their time. You know
Yeah, yeah,
that
for sure.
it stays watchable
Good call.
pretty much throughout. But anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, I also see
Okay.
you listed AI, which is
AI. It's like Inception, AI. and King Kong are on this list, and they're all
Ooh,
those
well,
directors like, hey, I can do whatever I
I'll get
want.
to King Kong, but AI is one of those you could have just chopped off the end,
Chopped
and
off the end and left
yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah,
ended at Coney Island. Why not?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and it's ambiguous. That's it. But when they did like the extra layer of the future aliens, you're like, then they clone
Mm,
her, but she
yeah,
dies.
yeah,
It's like, what are you doing?
yeah.
And I like
DVD.
AI
Yeah,
too. As bad as that movie is, it's I like the polar ice caps and the futuristic dystopian feel to it, but it could have been a lot cleaner.
yeah. DVD extra. That's all you need. Chop it off.
DVD extra. No, was AI Stanley Kubrick going to direct it, but passed away?
He wrote. I don't know if he ever really intended to direct. That was kind of the rumor that, or he kind of passed it off to Spielberg to kind of take it. But yeah, you
Okay.
can definitely kind of see his
His
feel.
imprint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
within that. But I don't think he would have made the movie that Spielberg did either. So I think he would
Yeah.
have had a much darker vision. So I'd be kind of curious to see what he would have done with that. So
Yeah. Good call.
I
Good.
think as soon as I said that, I think I remember I gave Rob Zombie's Halloween. I think my review at the time was like, it was like watching just a move of all DVD extras thrown together.
Just throw them all in there.
Yeah,
Just
and
sequence them.
make it a movie. Yeah.
Make it a movie.
Mm.
Um,
So funny people. I don't. Is this the
it's
Sally
Adam
Field one?
Sandler.
Or
And
okay, then no, I've not
so,
seen it.
it's a comedy, but it's not a like a
No,
slapstick true comedy. It's it's about comedians, but Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen in there, and they make it funny.
gotcha.
But it's almost 2 hours long, and
Mm,
it feels 2 hours long. There's a lot of unnecessary scenes in there, uh, and it's a good cast, and it's not a bad movie, but it's about 20-25 minutes too
no,
long.
too long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Uh,
fellas.
sorry,
Now
fellas.
you also put Django Unchained.
Hey, hey, hey.
That was more hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering what
That
that
was my
was.
comments. Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of long, right?
it is, but I still
It's a good movie. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So Tarantino's are usually it's a little overlong. Same thing. He could probably who was his editor that passed away? I know people kind of recognize
Sally Minkus.
yeah when she stopped that his films might have got a little bit more bloated than usual. Um but I'll give him a little bit kind of okay. There's a few director auteurs where I'm like, okay, you can just you do what you want. You kind of
Who
live.
was Tarantino's editor?
Is that who? I cannot remember. It was
Sally Menk.
yeah,
Menke.
thinking.
Yeah, she passed away. She was the one that did like all of them before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I
Pulp
do.
Fiction.
Yeah. I should have brought. I do have a Django Unchained figure.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, I'll
Is it
show it to you.
Django?
It is.
Oh,
Do you
it's
want me to
so
grab
cool.
it real quick? I can see it
Yeah,
across the room.
please.
Hold one moment,
Please.
please.
Don't forget to tweet us at the underscore podcastle and check us out on Instagram at the podcastle. Also like us on Facebook. Always interested in hearing your thoughts.
Useless stuff that I buy.
No such thing. Oh, that's so cool. It looks just like them. They did a really good job with the
They do a
detail.
good job. Look at the costume.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
everything
I love the
is
Colt 45.
the scarf, everything.
It's so
The gun.
detailed.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
how big is it?
It's probably 10 inches or
Yeah,
10 to
that's
12.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Wow.
I think
The
they did a
hat's
good job.
great.
So yeah, I just
They
love
did
the
do a good
yeah.
job.
So the double belt,
Yeah,
the
perfect.
belt and the gunslinger belt. So I'm a '90s person, so I remember I had pants that had double belts as part of the whole
Sure. Why
thing.
not?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, I
Oh,
have
that's
my
so
Django.
cool.
So anyway,
Django.
what else did we? Oh, so you had Joker, which
Yeah.
did you think was too long, or do you think it should have sliced off
Sliced
the
off.
end?
I love Joker. I thought that
Yeah.
was such a fantastic movie. I've seen it a few times. It's one of those movies you can't watch too much. It is very
Mhm.
dark, but I did love Joker. I feel like they could have shaved off some stuff.
Well, how would I have known how Bruce Wayne's parents died?
Point taken. That's it. Like that stuff. Like, come on. It's not even about him.
Yeah.
It's not even a Bruce Wayne movie.
I do remember in the theater because I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm really liking this. I kind of know why there was the hype, whatever. And then I saw a little Bruce leaving the theater. I'm like, oh my god,
Right. When you see that, you're like, come on.
am I having a nightmare? Uh,
Even Spider-Man knew, like, you don't have to show Uncle Ben in every
yeah,
movie now, and
yeah,
the
every
Bruce Wayne.
time. Like, what happened? You're
I
like,
know. It's
um,
just so funny. They always have that.
I know, and it's almost it's not shot for shot, but it feels like that because we seen so many
Yeah.
versions of the pearls and everything, and
Right.
uh,
Always the pearls
yeah,
flying and
I
oh,
just uh, I
so
don't know.
great.
One of these times they should just have something that's like the pearls don't snap off, and you're like, these aren't real, like
Yeah. Oh gosh. But yeah, but Joker is
Martha Wayne can't
fantastic.
afford real
Real.
pearls.
King Kong,
Ugh,
2005. This is
ugh.
when Peter Jackson, after Lord of the Rings, they were like, "You can do whatever you want." And he's like, "I'm gonna do a 3 hour
I'll
version of King Kong."
hold my beer.
Hold my
Um,
hold my beer.
I was excited. Obviously, I'm a big fan of King Kong '76, and of course,
Yeah, yeah.
but so I was like, yeah, let's see what he's gonna do with this. And I remember it was Christmas Day. I think had my friends go to the theater, and I just remember sinking farther and farther down on my seat. I'm like, this is awful. The effects are
Sick.
awful. Nothing is
Uh,
right. Nothing's like this is not even special. And it just kept going
no,
on and on and on. I'm just like,
it
I
was
feel like,
so bad.
yeah,
Well, do you remember like when they were in the pit and the bugs? There's like a few scenes where like it's slow motion bugs and they're shooting them. That scene went on for like 15 minutes, and you're
I,
like, we get it. We get it.
yeah.
Like there's creatures that it just kept going on. And you're
The,
like,
the
wow.
33 version had better effects. Jack Black pretend running
Oh
against
yeah.
what? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, it, and okay. And so now,
I watched the
rarely.
33 version before this one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Any of the versions. So,
Yeah. Well, I watched
um,
76 before anything, but
I think I shared this before, but on April Fool's Day, it used to be. It's kind of less of a thing now, but websites would have funny made up stories or whatever. And I somehow I this one I knew it was April 1st, but I somehow believed it. That they made this announcement that Peter Jackson was going to be releasing a condensed version of King Kong.
oh, I remember
Like yeah.
that. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's good because blah, 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 and I don't. And then later it's like, no, that's April
That,
Fool's. So I don't know, but I was
I
like,
remember
it's a
that.
good idea. It's a good idea.
Right. It's a good idea.
Uh,
Oh my, yeah, I was with you when that originally came out. You're very excited, and you're just like, what is going on?
it's
Ah,
not
Kong,
good.
Kong. I did like the size of Kong. They like proportioned him
Hmm.
differently, and I thought that was fine. They didn't make him like 80 feet tall, but yeah, it's just not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Parts of Kong, even though some of the effects are pretty bad, but parts are Kong itself is good. But it
Yeah,
was also during that, even like AI and stuff like that, this kind of weird blown out of semi soft focus that
yeah,
directors were doing and can still kind of do sometimes. I'm like, I don't know if it's because of the effects, but I'm like, it's just not pretty to look at.
right. No, they did
Yeah.
that a lot in New
Yeah.
York when they have like the old cars in the streets. A little too soft
Yeah.
focus, and it just didn't look good.
A lot of people were talking old timey. But
Yeah, yeah, that was almost like a character. And
yeah, I was like, oh no.